Now we've got to win a world championship at 54, and hopefully we can not just unify, we can become undisputed.
Do you feel you achieved your goals at 147? Because I knew you really wanted undisputed.
I wanted more, but in the end, when I found out how difficult it was, I was pleased that we unified. Like that was a big, getting that Stanionis fight was a big coup, because it made him Ring Magazine champion, lineal champion, absolute carbon #1 in the division, and it made him unified. But if you ask me, you know, was I happy? I was happy, but I would have been happier if we would have got the other guys as well and the other belts. And actually now, if you look at it, now timing's everything. You know, now we've got Lewis Crocker, right? He's won his old belt. You've got other champions in the division that maybe we could have made the fight against. You know, I think that if he stayed at 47, I think maybe we could have made a Brian Norman fight, maybe in Saudi Arabia or something like that. But timing's everything. And, you know, I think the perfect weight for Boots is 160. I think he could go there now and be in his absolute prime. He'll be tight at 54 tomorrow. People think that when you move up in weight, all of a sudden it's easy. He's massive. He will 100% go to 168 at some point. So right there, you've got a 4-division championship. But I don't want him just to be a 4-division champion. I want him to be undisputed in those, because I think he's the natural progressor to Terence Crawford. I think he's of the same kind of ability as Terence Crawford. And what Crawford's done is amazing, because he was undisputed in 3 weight classes.
Yeah, so, you got to prove it in a ring.
Of course you have. It's very well me saying it, but you've got to prove it in a ring. But you've also, people know in boxing, so everyone's always known how good Crawford was. But it took him a long time to get the opportunities to prove it. We've got to make sure that we're not 36, 37, 38 when we're getting those opportunities. Because if Boots can get it at 29, 30, he's going to be around 34, 35. He lives a clean life. Do you know what I mean? I think this guy, I truly believe, I think he could be one of the all-time greats. But like you say, we've got to prove it against the champions.
Eddie, are you surprised about the backlash that he got when the Uisma Lima fight was
Not really.
announced?
It's really difficult, because when you're making a call like that, there was other fights that we could make that I think from a commercial point of view would have done better or got a better response. But I knew this would be a better fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some guys I knew would fight off the back foot. They really didn't think they could win. They'd probably stink the place out a little bit. I'd rather a hungry, talented fighter that comes with power, with danger, and that will come on the front foot and try to win the fight. But this fight, we always knew that this fight, because Boots said, I just need one fight at 54. Let my body, you know, go in there and just feel it and experience it, and then we'll fight anybody. So I always kind of knew that this fight was going to be a little bit of a treading water fight. Sometimes those fights are dangerous. I actually think this fight's very dangerous, but I just think Boots is too good. So yeah, I wasn't really, like, the boxing world, not necessarily you guys, but like just in general, is so negative, isn't it? I mean, like,
Facts.
don't you think that the whole world, I think it's so toxic. Like we're so fucking mental, all of us, and miserable. But it's like people are just waiting to criticise. So yeah, I knew when we were going to pick Lima, I knew we'd get some criticism for it. And by the way, some of it's, I understand. You know, Eddie Hearn's out there telling us Jaron Ennis is a pound for pound #1, and he's the best fighter in the sport. And you're fighting this guy. Why aren't you fighting this guy, this guy, this guy? And this is part of the strategy. This is not to take an easy fight. This is to prepare us in the right way for what's to come.
I know Lima wasn't the first choice, but like, who in order, like, who were the guys that you preferred? Because
I can't even remember now.
Bohachuk
was the one where I mean, I shouldn't say it, because I offered 7 figures to Bohachuk.
Why did that fall apart?
What?
Why did the Bohachuk?
Because they said we could have an opportunity to fight on the Canelo card. And I said, yeah, but for like a quarter of the money. And you know, I'm sure Tom Loeffler won't mind me saying, he just turned around and said they just don't want to fight Boots. And I said, I don't blame you. Who else was there?
Were
Charles
you interested in
Cromwell.
losing?
What?
Were you interested in losing?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. Like, you know, but again, it's how much money they want to fight Boots. And when you're doing a show without a world championship and Boots is on a lot of money, obviously you have to look at how much the opponent's costing. And these guys come in and they're like, well, we want 1.5, we want, wow, it's like, who's the Gubba guy? Fucking, what's his name? Rashidi Ellis.
Rashidi Ellis.
He came in, like, and in the end they come back, go, oh, we'll take your offer. I'm like, we've already signed the fight. why didn't you just take the offer in the first place? But I think that's a guy that there's a bit of history between those two. But he won't come like Lima. What you watch? We'll talk after the fight. You'll be impressed by this kid. He's fucking tough as
Well,
boots.
we've seen Aaron McKenna.
Yeah, but he took the fight on 7 days' notice.
Yeah, we understand that, but
Well, you don't really.
But it puts a cap in regards to how Boots has to perform in the ring against.
Maybe, but what it does is it gives people the opportunity to criticise.
Absolutely.
That's what it does. But the reality is, if you know that he had 6-7 days' notice, and by the way, Aaron McKenna just fought Liam Smith. He won 120-108 against Liam Smith.
Yeah, but this is a Liam Smith that's kind of on his last leg.
I mean, he was injured against Chris Eubank. Before that, he knocked Chris Eubank out.
Yeah, but Liam's talking about retirement.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Aaron McKenna's a good fighter, and if you fight him at 7 days' notice, you're going to lose, right? Unless you're fucking someone really, really world-class special.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it makes Boots has to come out of the ring looking like Superman.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, he will, but because he is Superman.
And the over/under is 7.5 rounds. So are you taking under?
Yeah. Only because, and again, I don't mean this disrespectfully, of how naive Lima is.
So you think about the 5th round?
I mean, it depends. If Lima comes out hot, which I think he will, I mean, could be 3 or 4 rounds. If Lima's a bit smarter and works, in fits rather than just coming out. Don't forget, like when you walk out in front of whatever it'll be, 9,000-10,000, like it's a big moment. And you look in the ring and across is fucking Jaron Ennis. Do you know what I mean? And then the bell goes and you're like, he's excitable. You've only got to watch. He's very explosive, Lima. So he comes in and he jumps in and he throws combinations. He's heavy-handed. And against Boots, if you make mistakes, which he probably will, he's going to get punished.